Hello, beautiful women of Goddess CEO, and welcome back to day number two. If you're here with me, would love video on. I love getting to watch and see your beautiful faces and connect with you. Just go into gallery mode for a moment to see who's in the room. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to have you here. So, I want to do a check-in and see. Now, I didn't share this yesterday, but we sent it in the email as a reminder and a little assignment for you to do. And I'm going to say it now because if you didn't do it, I'm going to invite you to do it today after this call. And the assignment yesterday in the email was to take a piece of paper, draw a line down the center, and on one side, write the old paradigm and then write the new paradigm for me. And the reason why I want you to do this, if you haven't, who here has done that? Just share in the chat. And if you haven't, just share, I want to do it. I'm going to do it tonight. The reason why I want you to do that is because what happens, and the whole conversation that we're starting to have, that we started to get into yesterday, is the concept around your nervous system. When your body, when your nervous system starts to back, like really back your momentum and your movement forward, when you're a full body yes, what happens is that it's like all these light bulbs turn on. There's a reason why I seem to have, I won't say I've never failed at anything, but I would say that most of every one of my efforts in my work and in my business has produced like powerful response and results. And that's because I clear out these parts that are like, nope, this isn't me. Nope, that's not going to work for me. Nope, that's not aligned to my values. And I commit to what is. Because that allows you to get this feedback loop between you and your work that it brings a power to you, right? It brings this sense of like, yeah, that's me. Okay. So do the assignment if you haven't yet. And if you're considering, I know at the end of our call yesterday, just let me know in the chat if you're coming back for day two or if this is your first day live with us. I would love to hear that in the chat as well, just so I can feel the room. Okay, coming back. Amazing. I see some beautiful faces that I saw here yesterday. So if you are coming back, you know that at the end of the call yesterday, I shared a bit about the inner circle. And my invitation today is if you're curious about coaching with me, if you're curious about what happens in a long-term mastermind of women who are walking with you, apply. Just apply because you would be amazed at what happens when you just lean into even the questions for yourself. And then if it maybe is aligned for you, if you're feeling like it's it, but you don't feel that full clarity, we will get to have a conversation together so we can decide if it's the right space for you. So today, today, my dears. Today, since yesterday, we were looking at the old model, what no longer quite fits for you, uniquely you. Today, there's a reorientation, right? And today, we're reorienting towards love. Now, love is one of my highest values. Intimacy is one of my personal highest values. And I knew that something was shifting in my work and in my life and in my clients' work when I would have clients come into programs like the Ecstatic Abundance and the Inner Circle, and they come for the money, they come for the growth in their business, and they're like, oh my God, I just broke up with someone that wasn't aligned. Oh my gosh, my partner did this. Oh my God, my man just proposed to me. Oh my gosh. I started to see that these deeper longings and this deeper ache was coming through not only for me in my own life, but also for my clients. And I started to see how much we can mask our deep heart's longing for profound union and love with a desire to scale. a desire to make more money, a desire to just be on a billboard in Times Square. And while the growth in our purpose and in our work is something that I stand for, something that I teach, what happens for me and what for my clients that I've seen, and maybe you resonate with this, please let me know if you do, is that when we go deeper into the body, when we go deeper into the heart, we can recognize a deeper ache. I started to see patterns like my clients who just wanted to get visible, wanted more likes, who wanted more engagement, who wanted 5K more instead of, wanted a 10K month instead of a 5K month or a 30K month instead of a 20K month. It's like I started to see a pattern of what was underneath. So before we go anywhere, let's just take a moment. I want to take a moment for us, for you to drop into the heart, to just drop into the body. Take a moment. We're all these beautiful female bodies coming into a room together. So beautiful, such incredible women in this space. Let's use the collective energy here and the collective power to drop in. So take a moment, close your eyes, and if it would support you, place a hand over your heart. We won't be here for long. It's just a moment for you, moment of connection, moment of trusting in whatever message is here in your heart. And the heart is where we feel. The heart is this connection point to the soul, right? The lower three chakras are connected to it can be the primal body, the ego. The upper three chakras is the heart is like this bridge. So as you connect to your heart, take a breath. See if you could feel the sensation in your heart just a little bit more. Is there a heat? Is there a fluttering? Just notice. On every exhale, just allowing a softening in your heart, like you could see into it, like there was a window. Imagine a window. Place it right in the center of your heart. On your next inhale, walk up to that window. And on your exhale, just peer in. Notice what you see. Notice what you see. Maybe there's a connection to a feeling that's in there. Maybe there's a memory that's popping up. Just being aware of whatever is showing itself to you right now. And then everyone's on mute, so don't worry about us hearing you, but I want you to say out loud, I want. And then whatever follows, I want, and then what do you want? I want. What does your heart want? I want connection. I want to be seen. I want ease. What does the heart want? Let the heart speak. And really say it out loud. I don't see any lips moving. So let's actually let the heart speak. It's so rare that we actually get to do this. Just listen. I want, fill in the blank. Yes, I see some lips moving. Great. Receive it like you're listening to it. And then see now, like, see if it can feel a little juicy. Like, allow it to feel good as you speak. Even if you just say, I want more, and you allow that to feel good. You allow it to feel nourishing, like you're revealing that deeper ache to yourself, But as you're revealing it and speaking it, see if you can kind of give it to yourself too. It's like you're receiving it and wanting it at the same time. This is a little advanced. It's like, I want love, but you feel love in the moment and you let yourself have it too, even though you want it. I want intimacy. I want ease. Just speaking whatever is true. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful. I can see some grins. I can see some movement happening. Keep staying with yourself. Mm. And then we'll do one switch up. So now I want you to take it a little bit deeper and just ask yourself and say underneath that is. So this is the prompt. Underneath that is what? So what's underneath the current want? Underneath that is acceptance for myself. Underneath that is a lack of pressure. Underneath that is freedom. And when you speak it out loud, let your body feel it. Let your body feel yourself gifting it to yourself just now in this moment. Because remember, as the goddess CEO, we're practicing states of being. That's our devotion first. Practicing states of beingness. Good, good. Good. And then just take a moment to thank your heart. Go back to seeing that window on your heart and just start slowly shutting the blinds because it doesn't need to be always open. Slowly start shutting the blinds to that window over your heart. Thanking your heart for the wisdom, and then slowly you can start coming back to the room here together. And let's just tune in, share in the chat. What did you find out? Is there something that was revealed that you didn't have full clarity on? Is there something that you gave yourself, like, oh, not underneath that? Oh, I see it. I got it. What was it? Share in the chat. Let's get a feel. I want to feel this room. I want to feel what these hearts are craving, what these hearts are aching for. Hmm. Underneath it all, I just want more of me. I want to feel fueled by life's energy rather than exhausted. Yeah, relaxation, ease. All of my versions are held. Desire to be soft, surrendered, safe, pleasure, love, acceptance. Beautiful. To be seen, freedom, ease. Great. So this is great. It's like, I want bigger impact. I want endless impact. I want abundance. Underneath that, I want to feel ease. So what's the devotion to? Ease, right? What we're really after, first and foremost, as the avenue, as the roadmap forward, right? Because what else are we to do? Just go to work? Most of us are doing our work, doing our purpose, living out our dream so that we can actually have these feels, right? We want to feel enough. We want to feel like we have endless energy. We want to feel love. And so, what needs to happen? A devotion, right? A devotion to that. So, we started to talk a lot yesterday about this, about what is the old way? Why do we want to look at the old paradigm? We want to look at it because usually it is just a roadmap to all that you don't want to feel, right? The old paradigm is usually connected to a feeling of I'm not enough and stress and worry and fear. But the new paradigm, a new map that I want you to start thinking up and writing for yourself is something that anchors you into this in everything that you do, which is so much easier said than done. So today we're talking about reorienting towards love and what is the number one challenge towards staying in love? Do we know? Especially, let's talk about an intimacy, an intimate partnership, because our relationships are a doorway to how we are doing life. Okay, fear, right? Fear can be one. When do you lose love? When does love go out the door? Especially in an intimate moment, in an intimate partnership. When truth isn't shared, fear of abandonment, betrayal, when my heart closes, okay, good. When you don't feel safe, abuse. So what's the common theme in all of these things? When he avoids me, okay, closure. There you go. Closure. There's a mm-mm. Disconnected, lack of safety. Yeah, there's a contraction. There's a trigger. There's something gets hard. Something gets hard. Something feels like too much sensation. It's too tender, it's too risky, it's too exposing, it's too vulnerable, it's too much. And so we leave. We leave. We walk out the door. And walking out the door could look like literally like avoidant patterns. It could look like anxious patterns, like getting pissed and angry and yelling and abusing emotionally the partner that you're with. There is there is so much pain in relating. There's so much pain in relationship, and oftentimes we don't know it because we're so afraid of seeing ourselves. We're so afraid of admitting that it's actually there. We're so afraid of going towards what we actually want that we're just willing to go, oh yeah, but it's fine. But when we go deeper and deeper and deeper into the heart, we find like, ouch, ouch. There's an ache. There's an ache. It's not how I wanted it. It's not, it doesn't feel honoring. It feels abusive. It is abusive. I want it different. I want it harder. I want it faster. I want it deeper. Not sexually speaking, but we can put it there too, right? There's kind of this like, wait, there's this profound ache for deep love. Who here is aware that there is this ache for a deeper love in their hearts? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I am such a stand for this. I am such a stand for you learning how to get in touch with that longing enough that it's real and that you don't downplay it or make it something that you put on the back burner. Who here has put it on the back burner? Like, yeah, but this is just what I was dealt. Yeah, but these are just my triggers. Yeah, but these are just my traumas. Yeah, but this is just the type of person that I attract. So I just kind of have to surrender to it. But no, we don't have to do that. We have to get in touch with that ache and then do the work to open beyond it, to open through it, right? And today in this conversation, I'm so present to how much we have to both train our nervous system to have the staying power in times of challenge and as leaders in our business and in our relationships. A story that I like to tell is that one of my biggest shifts, relationally speaking, in my relationship with Alan, I remember in the first year of our relating, I was really working this pattern because I have this, when I used to have this, when triggered, this part that would just walk away. Because my little girl, when I was upset, I used to run to my room and cry. And my parents used to say, go to your room. And so I just knew when I'm upset, I leave. I walk out the door. I take care of it myself. I do it alone. And one of the things that I started to do is I started to stay in those moments and share, I really want to walk away right now. Like, oh, ouch. Like, I really want to walk away. Do you feel that? Do you feel that like that moment of like, oh, here's the sticky, here's the pattern, here's the but the commitment. What's the commitment? What's the devotion? To honor the ache for love. We all want love so badly, but then we just move in our patterning. And in a lot of ways, our patterning goes against love. So, yeah, okay, so we're here. So, this was such a profound moment. And so, I want to pose the question to you. How long can you stay in connection, in intimacy without dropping it? Now, if you're in a partnership, apply this to your partner because relationship is the best place to practice union. And if you're not, then you practice this with your inner being, with God. How long can I stay truly connected? And it's not just like, yeah, I'm connected to myself. No, it's like, I'm loving myself. It's staying connected to love. What does love feel like? When we're connected to a sense and a state and a feeling of love, what's there? What's present? Maybe we feel safe. Maybe when we feel a connection to love, we feel wanted. Maybe we feel seen. Maybe when we're feeling love, we feel flowy, like trusting. Yeah, calmness, peace, safety, joy, excitement, belonging. Yeah, yeah. So the question is, how long can you feel these things? Because it's so easy to drop. This is why I love relationship, intimate relationship as a playground for our relationship to God and to our relationship to ourselves, because intimate relationship is where so many of the triggers are. But just raise your hand if you're in a relationship. Just want to feel the room that's here with me. Okay, so kind of half of you, and raise your hand if you're wanting, aching to be in a relationship. And those of you, raise your hand if you're like, I'm in a single era and I feel good. Okay, I love it. I love it. Okay, so what I want to talk about, what I want to go into, and when you ask yourself this question, how long can I stay in connection without dropping it, in intimacy without dropping it? We get to wonder, well, what makes me drop it? What makes me drop it? I I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I feel pressure. What are your triggers? Where are the places that you drop it? What are the places within relationship? He talks to me this way, or he says no, or she doesn't give me what I want, or I initiate sex and then they're not into it. Like, what are the places? There are all these places where we drop the practice of love. And ultimately, the practice of all practices to be the goddess CEO is to stop dropping it, right? To learn how to expand your capacity in your nervous system to stay in intimacy. Just like, that moment that I shared where I'm like, oh, I really want to walk away. I really want to walk away, but I'm not going to. When you're with yourself and you're having one of those moments where you're wanting to leave your body, you're wanting to abandon yourself in some way, you can push a wall. It's like, feel the wall. I really want to leave. I really want to leave. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't like this situation. Push the wall. Sometimes we've got to work it through our body. In that moment where I'm like, oh, I really want to leave, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay here. It's the moment where I'm like, I'm working my body. I'm like, can feel that part of me, but I'm willing to train. We have to train, like really train our nervous system to be able to stay. So we're cultivating staying power. And today, as I want to talk about three of the key, I would say, shadow patterns that I see most prevalent in relationship that are such big blind spots for women, especially entrepreneurs, especially powerful women doing big, beautiful things in the world. And we're going to dive into them, and I'm going to do some coaching for y'all in each area. Okay. So, the first shadow pattern that I see that we've really got to work on our staying power in love, like to stay in love instead of going into an embodiment of superiority or inferiority. Yeah. If you feel better than, more evolved, more wise, more intelligent, more embodied, more like you're like, I'm better than your partner, there's absolutely no way that you can trust them, that you can surrender to them, that you can open your heart to them because you're in a pattern of I know best. This usually happens when women are trusting their own inner masculine more than they trust his or their partners. Yeah. So this was a big pattern I had to work through. When I met Alan, I I was full in my full boss babe era. I was having multi-million dollar years. And while he was incredibly embodied and deep in his practice, his actual business was not where mine was. And I had to work through so many ego patterns around I'm more advanced. Thank God that I did. Thank fucking God. I am so grateful that I chose to do that work because I got in touch with real love by doing it. If I held on to this pattern of I'm better, what would have happened is not only would our relationship not have worked, and a lot of people, they go on for years in marriages where one person is in superiority or inferiority. I wasn't willing to do that. I was really like, is this going to work? Is this going to work? Because this feeling doesn't feel good. Have you ever felt that in relationship? Like, who relates? Is this going to work? This is going to work because this feeling is not feeling good. Okay. Well, I got not only would the relationship not have worked, but also I wouldn't have gotten to have the pleasure and the like the beauty of watching Alan step all the way into his power. It was my surrender, my continued devotion to love over superiority, love over my patterning. And this isn't the first relationship that it's been present, so it's definitely part of my patterning. My devotion to what does it mean to actually love and to act from love instead of the superiority, which meant my body, my facial glances at him, how I offered feedback or didn't, trusting him and his path. And when I did that, my man's business like 200x and our whole relationship dynamic shifted. The amount of true, like grounded safety, union, so, like unwavering love that is present from evolving this pattern is so profound. The opposite of superiority, and just getting a hand, I just want to see who here resonates with like, I kind of either do that in my current relationship or, yeah, or I've done it before. Some like, I'm better in some way. Okay. Yeah, look at that. See? there is a theme, right? We've got to be real with that. Like the women's empowerment movement, coaches of the world, and I'm better than you. It's like we got to check ourselves. We got to check ourselves. Is that in alignment with what you really want? Is that in alignment with the ache in your heart? No. Yeah. So the opposite is inferiority. This is when you feel like they are like your God, and you just need to do whatever you need to do to be seen as the one. You need to be more feminine. You need to heal. You need to contort yourself into a special mold so that they choose you. Okay, that was my issue. So whatever side of the spectrum you fall on, whether you're like I'm better or they're better, it's it's essentially these are patterns where you lose love. Yeah, been on both sides, right? In different relationships, you might have experienced different sides because life is trying to teach you love. Right? Ultimately, life is trying to teach us love. So if you're sometimes superior and sometimes inferior, it's like, all right, sometimes God will show you the opposite so you can be like, wow, that's how it's making them feel. Oof, I don't want to make them feel that way, and vice versa, right? And we usually flip flop like this. We flip flop so that we can have the full picture, so that we can choose the middle way, right? Choose the middle way. Okay. Every relationship I've ever had, the next relationship shows me the opposite. Yeah, and so what you get to decide actually in yourself, if you relate, if you're like, you know what, I've been flip-flopping every single relationship, what you get to decide is that you stand in love. What does that mean? It's not floofy. It's like, okay, I know what it feels like to be better than. And I know what it feels like to be less than and to feel like they're better than me. And then the devotion is, hey, I'm not going to do that because clearly it's me that's doing it. We think that it's the guy. We think it's like it's all the person. But our relationships are always an alchemy of how we are being. And you are always the perfect match to who you are drawing in some way, shape, or form. You're mirroring. You attract the person that is a match for your current level of embodiment and consciousness. So you either choose, I'm going to elevate my embodiment and my consciousness now and while I'm in the relationship as my true north, or no, there's no other option. That's the only option. That's the only option. Who's in for that option? Like, I'm going to elevate my embodiment of love and my awareness of love because that's the only option is to ground my nervous system in that middle ground. Yes, let it begin with me. So what could that look like, right? What could that look like? Let's actually bring someone up for coaching in this moment. Before we go into any of the next shadow patterns, who feels like they want some coaching in this area? Maybe you're in a current relationship. Maybe you're like, you know what? I really go into these patterns. Raise your hand and just remember that this is a held space. We are, yeah, my request for everyone is to, if a woman is on here getting coaching speaking about her relationship, especially a current relationship or even a past relationship, to hold everyone in the highest light, to hold her partner in the highest light, to recognize and know that people change and grow and that we're not keeping anyone stuck in an identity of who we think they are. Okay, let's go with Vanessa. And then you can just leave your hands raised if you want coaching later on in the conversation, and maybe you will come up later because you'll resonate with the next pieces that we dive into.
So I would be curious. Well, right now my strategy is like doing DMs or DMs to sales calls which I
Mhm.
don't really like. And because yeah, some people are just not warmed up enough. So I'm curious what your thoughts would be like how to do what how would you suggest doing one-to-many sales on webinars and like the energy to move through like people's scarcity and get them off the fence and I feel like I get really blocked around like when it comes time to pitch on a big and hold a lot of energy and hold a lot of eyes on me. Like, I notice I rarely attract like 77 people I wouldn't even attract because this much energy and attention on me would feel my nervous system would start to be like, ah. And so I notice like even when I do big live trainings, I'm only attracting, like maybe 10 max or something like that. And I th know it's like an energy thing. So yeah, your suggestions there.
Okay, I feel curious because my desire intention is to stay in this theme of what we're talking about today around relationship and this, especially this shadow
Yeah.
pattern of superiority or inferiority. But let's see if we can bring it in. Like,
Okay.
is there an inferiority energy that comes in? Do you feel
Yeah.
like lower than, less than, not good enough?
Yeah, I probably like I think when it comes to do a pitch or like I do think I lose my confidence or yeah,
Yeah,
especially like with it when it's a big audience. Like
sure,
I think I've gotten good with one-on-one sales calls, but like the one to many
sure. Well,
does feel like then I'm not in my power.
yeah. Well, there's a lot of ways that I could address that from a business perspective. For the sake of this conversation and this call, what I want to highlight is what we're speaking about right now, which is what is in the middle of superiority, like I'm better than you, and inferiority, I don't have it, especially when there's more people, right? Just more eyes just means there's more energy. More
Yeah.
eyes just means like the patterns just get illuminated. So people think that they want more people and more eyes. And it's like, wait, like what are you going to see about yourself? And so what would be the practice of love on a sales pitch? Like how could you practice staying in the middle ground centered space of love? What might that look like for you?
Okay. Yeah, that's just interesting to reflect on. Yeah.
Because when you go into an inferiority, what happens is that you've lost love. You've lost a love for yourself, a love for the work, a love for the clients, and you're like you're in probably a little girl energy, a younger part. There's like this younger part coming alive that's like wanting to do it right and wanting to get the result and doesn't know if maybe she will, and it's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like these are the moments where it's so easy to run, right? It's so easy to be like, oh, or just we stay stuck in the pattern. So what you could do is anchor, like before you go into a selling moment, you could feel these two sides of the spectrum, this like I'm better and I'm less than. And imagine that you're actually in the center place. And for me, what that comes back to is feeling love in my heart for my clients and for the world. It comes back to my being connected to my womb, feeling a turn on in my body. Like, this is exactly what I want to be sharing and saying and speaking in this moment. Like, I wouldn't be saying it any other way. Just like
Mm.
in this moment when I heard this question, I was like, how do I want to respond to this? Well, I'm like, okay, we're in this theme of reorienting towards love. So that's how I'm going to respond because that's correct. And so, the more you can center
Mm.
yourself in this middle space of love and embody what that actually would look like for yourself, then in these moments of high sensation, and that could look like being triggered in your relationship or being triggered on a call with 70 people where you're just a little like, ooh, there's high sensation in that. So, what am I going to do in high sensation? Just what I would do in low sensation. It's just harder, right? It's like reorient toward a
Mm.
centeredness, reorient towards love, reorient towards that safety that you already have. And this is why when oftentimes, when women are starting their coaching businesses and they are starting from a blank page and they need money, it can feel like this profound pressure of like, wait, but I'm not safe. But the practice for me is always, nope, reorient because you are, reorient to the love
Yeah.
and move from that place. And you will feel so much more resourced. You will feel so much more truly connected to your voice and to your impact and to what your mission is really here to do because you're not trying to convince. Here's the thing, it's like when we feel like we need to convince people, like if I'm on come
That's what
to
it
this
was. Yeah,
call.
when I looked at my last, I was like in convincing, but I think it was coming from the lack of safety because I had a dip in clients and then it was like this needy, grasping energy disconnected from my heart and
Yeah.
safety and my power and all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so partly what we get to look at is where we feel like we need to convince people. It's a good idea to look at, well, am I talking to people who don't care what I care about? Like if I'm coming in this room and I'm here and I'm showing up and I'm in this 3-day experience with you all, and I feel like I need to convince you about my work, then I'm already off. Because what we need to do is speak to the people who care about self-growth, who care about what we care about. So because I care about soul-led leadership and deep devotional love, it's like I talk to you like you do too. And you want to invest in that and you're ready for that. And so that's how you'll also show up too, is like the more you are in that center of yourself, that center place of love where it's like I don't need to convince. I don't, you're in that, then you'll mirror that in the people. They will mirror that state within you. And so that's what's really cool about this work is that the more you can practice this, then the more you're going to mirror and get to see that those types of people are in your field as well.
One quick question. Do you think every client I hate, like sometimes I hate the mirror analogy. I feel like as a person who's already very much in growth and like I can, but do you feel that every client we attract is some point of calibration? Because sometimes it drives me nuts, but also I could see where it's possibly true, but also yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to feel like every single client, like that feels like a lot of weight and responsibility. Maybe it's good to like play with it and let it go. I don't know. What's your
Yeah, my sense around this, it's not like every single client is showing you everything about yourself, but they show you something about where you're at in the business and in your service. Because, for example, let's say have you ever had the experience where you sign someone on to work with you for 6 months, and at the beginning of the 6 months, you're like, damn, this is so aligned. Like, I love this connection. And then at the end of the 6 months, you're like, I feel a little dissonant. Like, I feel like the container's closing. I think I've moved on. The, just, have you ever had that experience?
Mhm.
Yeah. So in those moments where you're feeling like you're moving in a different direction than some of your clients are, it to me it's just showing like, oh, when I signed that person on, I was really thinking about and communicating and creating around this place. Like this is where my energy was, but now I'm here. So now this is the type of person that I'm calling into my vortex. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
that's how I see it because I have so many different types of clients. They go through all kinds of things in their relationships and in their lives and their businesses. And I'm not over here thinking like how is exactly how they're being mirroring where I'm at. I'm just saying like, okay, the type of person that is attracted to me right now is where my energy is resonating.
Okay. Well, I just had like I had two high ticket clients at the same time, and one was deeply committed to herself, and then the other did like three calls. She paid in full and then like kind of just ghosted. And then I started to like overanalyze, like, oh, is she ghosting because I'm not like, am I ghosting myself? Am I not committed? But then I had another client who was completely showing up. So sometimes I get into my head too much around, is that probably just not useful? Like, you don't
No,
have to interpret.
you don't need to do that. Some clients will show up and some clients won't, and that's okay. That's all.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
don't make
helpful.
that one about you.
Yeah, that's probably just a disempowering thing I'm going into, a disempowering narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like you can set the scene. You can say, it's like as in a real intimate relationship, you can say, this is how I would like it to go. This is how I would like this evening to go. This is how I would like our sex date to go. And in a coaching relationship, you can say the same thing. This is how I would love you to use this container. This is how my clients do best with me. And then if they, don't do that, that's on them. That's not on you.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Okay, so that went in a different direction than I thought it would, but perfect. I'm sure that that resonated with many of you. And you can see how these themes that we experience, that we are in within our intimate relationships, are all over our businesses as well. All over it. So if we're in that moment of inferiority, right? If we're in that moment of, oh my God, I don't know, I don't trust myself, I don't trust what I'm doing, and like, I don't know if I can say it and speak it to a whole room of people. Oh my goodness, we've lost love, right? We've lost love, we have lost ourselves. And this type of work is a practice, day by day, moment by moment. Some of you have been in my vortex for a while, and so you know this, you've felt this through me, and you know that it's a practice. You know you fuck it up. You know, and then you come back and you come back and you come back and you come back and you come back. Okay. So let's go into another key area that I find a lot of shadow in. And as always, I mean, we're looking at through the lens of relationship, and applies to business in a lot of ways as well. So another key area that I see deeply that we go into shadow is through withholding, which also creates resentment. So it's withholding and resentment. Who here feels like there's something that they haven't said to someone that's kind of feeling ick in the heart? It could be to a friend, it could be to your intimate partner. There's something in there, of course. Okay. So the rule of thumb is if it shows up 3 times, it's a withhold. If you're just like, oh, I'm thinking of that. Should I say something? I'll let it live there for a second. If it shows up again, it's like, oh, okay, that's there. If it shows up a third time, it's a withhold, which means that it's impacting your intimacy. It's impacting the field of love that is around you and this person. And I'll name right now, there's someone I'm thinking of, a friend, where I'm like, I've got to say something. I can feel like, oh, yep, this is the third time. Great. Okay. I'm going to do that. I'm going to practice. I'm going to practice actually bringing it because withholds just lead to resentment down the line. So a lot of the place that I see women like us creating withholds and resentment is around money because we're powerful leaders. We can open all the doors. We can book all the flights. We can drive ourselves to the supermarket. We can, and we do, and we're good at it. And the masculine in us is strong. But the problem is that if we keep doing and doing and doing without being in touch with this deeper part of like, ooh, I actually want or need help, support more from you, then over time it just creates so much resentment and so much like this feeling like I'm doing it all myself. Who has felt that within a relationship, especially in related to their purpose? Like I'm doing so much and I'm doing it all myself. And how much love do we feel in that? How connected to right? Yeah, I see some of the faces like that. It's like I'm carrying it all on my shoulders, and then I'm just resenting you for it. And so here, what we have to talk about is being willing to say the thing. Being willing to say the thing, which could trigger someone, which could trigger a partner, a friend, which could has the chance of hurting someone, but also has the chance of creating more love and more depth and more beauty than we ever knew possible. But we don't get to get what we want and get what we need just because we want it, just because we feel the desire for it. Oftentimes we need to speak it, we need to share it. You know, a good example is that I love to receive flowers from Alan when he goes on retreat. When he's teaching, he's gone from home for a week, and if I stay home that week, it's like if I get roses or flowers delivered to my door, something in my heart just goes, okay, he hasn't left me. He's still here with me. And I had to ask for it. I had to communicate like how meaningful it was because he's like, of course I'm still with you. I'm texting you. I'm here with you. I love you. I'm right here. But that's man brain. That's man brain. And part of cultivating intimacy is honoring where your partner can't be a mind reader. Your partner can't be a mind reader. They can't know that you want more support. They can't know that you want more nervous system care, back rubs when you're upset. Like they can't know until you communicate it and share it and take a stand for it. So let's do a coaching moment around this. You could also, if your hand is raised for the one around superiority or inferiority, all okay, we can go into that as well. So let's see. Let's go to Sasha. I see you here. You can just unmute yourself and then you are up.
Hi.
Hi.
Um, so yeah, I've experienced both ends of the spectrums. Like I've had two main relationships in my life.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, so my last one, I paid for everything once we moved in together. That dynamic totally shifted.
Mhm.
And it's funny when you were speaking to the last woman, I had like a aha moment because it's been now maybe 16 months since I've been single celibate since I ended it. Um, and he was a big mirror, and it still creeps in certain ways where I'm like, oh God. Um,
And how did it feel to pay for all of the things?
uh, it did not feel good. Like in I hated it. Like it that's where the resentment built up so much.
What did it feel like in your body? Like if you could show us in your body, if your body made like a shape or a sound that showed what it was like.
I mean, I feel like it did make me very like tense.
Right? Like this.
Um, Especially every month when he would like pull the rug out from under me and be like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pay rent again. And I'd just be like,
Okay. Yeah, we see it. We see it. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh. So
okay.
if we don't
Um,
stay connected to the truth of what you ache for, this is the pattern. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and it's like, okay, every time I keep asking you to like tell me beforehand. So it's like the constant breaking of the the boundary,
Yeah.
um, or what one of my psychics I love, like he gives a lot of lip service. So like his words never matching his actions.
Hmm.
And I realized just with whatever a few moments ago, I was like, oh, I was doing the same thing because I kept setting boundaries and
Hmm.
then my actions
Hmm.
aligned with like the boundaries I kept setting with him,
Yeah.
honoring my need for him to like show up financially.
Right. Right. So
and
you're
like
saying,
the
I
damn thing or
need
get
you
a
to do
stupid
this.
job or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're
Um,
saying, I need you to do this, and then he's not doing it, and you're saying, oh, I don't like that, but I'm gonna stay with you, and I'm gonna stay with you, and I'm gonna stay with you. And the moment that we keep leaning in, and it's like, nope, the action is not lining up with what the needs are and with what you're clearly communicating. Now,
mhm.
where we have to check ourselves. I don't feel like this is the case for you in this situation, but where we have to check ourselves as powerful women is where we get entitled to him just doing everything that we want. That is not how it gets to be either, but especially in this situation where he's unable to pay continuously, he's not contributing, he's not stepping into his role. Yes, I really sent like that's the mirror. That's your agreement to staying within that dynamic is where there's that mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, super powerful. So what what happens next? Like what gets to be your how are you going to know in the next relationship when the next person comes? How are you going to know that you're not mirroring where they're not showing up? How are you going to know that you're in the right place?
Mm. I mean, I know, I feel like it just goes back to constantly like choosing myself. But as far as like knowing what that signal is, like I think I need to be so aware of like what my body is doing in those moments. And that's like where the like not abandoning, because it's like my body communicates so quickly
Hmm.
to me. And I've just like shut it down so many times in the past. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you have like suggestions again, because I've been on the other spectrum where my late husband was the one who like paid for everything and like took care, and I really relied on it was very much the like little girl because I met him when I was 21. And so, it was like the are you picking me? Like that whole like, like I must be special.
So
Um, so it's like I know I don't want to do the flop thing that you
yeah.
spoke about.
Yeah, well,
Um,
what you said at the beginning is like choosing myself, that so starts right now in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your lifestyle, and how you're caring for your body. And then that continual, like, I'm choosing myself. Then every time you're with someone, it's like they've either got to take you deeper or support even more of you into yourself, right? Like you get to find that feeling, that almost like code of, this is me with me. Some type of signal that you can give to yourself. You're like, this is what feels good. This is what is right. Maybe you know what that feels like within your creations or within your morning practice, or you find this like, okay, there I am, that's it. And then you get curious, like, does this person create more of that day by day by day? Do they create more of that or less of that?
yeah, like really adding to my plate because I know, yeah, I can fall into that over giving, obviously. Um,
Yeah, and then
yeah, I know.
the really simple thing is just don't do it. Like, don't resist the
Oh
urge
yeah.
to,
Yep.
yeah, resist the urge to pay. And
I
it's
like it.
no,
Gross
I
isn't,
mean,
but
and I get it because, I can pay. I have money. I'm like, it would be easy for me to pay, but I
yeah,
don't want to.
right.
I don't want to. So, yeah, so
Yeah.
we resisting the urge because by doing that, it creates that impulse where they have to. So they're like, if your partner ever is like, I can't pay rent, it's like, yes, you can. I believe in you.
Hmm.
Yes, you can. You got this. Versus, I got to put it all on my shoulders. I have to be the one to take it. It's just if you could place it back on them and just say, I so trust you. You so got this.
Yeah, that's the annoying thing because now knowing I left our place to him, and I'm the one who moved across country. And I'm like, oh, he's somehow paying that rent now with a roommate.
That's because
Like,
in every person and in every man there is a power part. There is the totally capable part. And we have to choose to believe in that. We have to choose to speak life into that. And this can only happen when we truly do trust them, right? Because I've been in a relationship in the past where even though he had a beautiful purpose, his actions weren't lining up. So I couldn't authentically trust him. It was like he was doing drugs and there were all kinds of things and drinking. And I was like, beautiful purpose, but I don't actually believe you're going to actually live it out. But
right.
with Alan, it's like all of his actions lined up. So I'm like, of course, I'm going to breathe life into this. I trust this purpose. I love this purpose. And it's, I mean, literally night and day what's possible through our men when that's what men want the most. They want us to see them in their gifts, see them in their purpose, and trust that they've got it and trust that they've got us. But if we're too busy being like, I have to be the one, and we're not giving them that trust, then there's just no way that it can actually work out because there's always going to be that place in your heart that wants more, but then you don't believe that you can have more. So it's kind of like what's the chicken or the egg? Do you choose to trust or do you wait till he's trustable? It's kind of like be if it were me at this point in my life, I'd be willing to trust the person that I'm with because I would trust that God put them there for a purpose. So it's like I'm going to give them the most amount of trust as possible and see what happens. Usually there's a profound shift that happens and the clients who work with me, like I've seen insane shifts that happen in like weeks from just that reorientation towards if I want to reorient towards love in the perfect world of love, intimate love, I trust my partner, right? You trust your partner deeply to lead themselves, to grow, to be the powerful person that they are. I mean, do you want that?
I mean, yeah, I want that like sacred, committed,
Yeah.
like respectful, devotional love. And kind of like almost, I mean, it doesn't have to look like what you guys have, but I also know I'm a person who wants to like build legacy with someone, or at least have someone I can collaborate with in some capacity.
Yeah.
Like that's important for me.
Hmm.
Um, like it has to make sense that they somehow support my purpose and like mission and career. Like otherwise, I'd just rather be alone. Like I don't need someone. I would like someone. Like, but um, yeah.
Well,
So
that
something.
sounds really reasonable to me that you want someone who supports your legacy, that you get to walk legacy together, who is interested in building a respectful relationship with you. That sounds incredibly reasonable. And I know that you can have that. I know you can have that. I have no doubt about that. So the stance though is like if in that relationship I would be so trustworthy, then that's what you want to look for. The moment you're meeting someone new, it's like, do I feel trust even in this moment? Do I trust this person in this moment? Do I trust this person in this moment? Just on how you're feeling their body, how just in how they're coming across to you. And sometimes these are things that can change with practice, you know? We can practice becoming more trustable through embodiment work, especially for men who haven't done much. Like sometimes they really need to learn how to sit and breathe into their belly and their balls and not go into defensiveness. I mean, there's training for these types of things, but it's something that if you're not in a relationship, you get to really practice. I'm going to offer trust right away. And I'm going to look for, do I authentically trust this person right now? Because there should be this ease of like, it's easy to trust you. It's easy to trust you. Oops, we can't hear you for a second. I don't know what happened. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Um, like also the difference it's bringing up for me, like the difference between charm and character.
Mm,
You're saying like you noticed the things that Alan, like he was holding those pieces, and his actions were actually aligning with what his dreams or vision was versus like your last partner.
mhm,
I think I've noticed that too. It's like, oh, I fell for the charm for my life. So damn charming. Charm
mm,
the pants off you. Oh, that may be lacking like the backbone.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
that is necessary.
So, what part of you gets hooked into charm? Is there like a vanity? Is there a what part of you is okay with that? Like gets off by just the charmingness?
I think as it's like feels, I know I needed it in that moment. Like it felt fun and light and playful.
Mm, okay, fun and
Last
light and playful.
so dark and heavy and
Huh.
it ended so traumatically. So like it had that like I needed it at the time. So it was easy to fall for. Like
Hmm.
when I
Hmm.
um
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so and again, people come into our lives to show us flavors that we want and flavors that feel good to us. So you can take the best of that, like the fun and the playful, and really be willing to be fun and playful yourself, cultivate those qualities so
Right.
that you can bring that out in whatever partner you're with, so that you're devoted to meeting an aware, deep committed partner. Like that's the core that you're wanting. You're wanting that like conscious, legacy building, fully present person. So that feels like the radar, and then the fun is like a flavor that you get to cultivate within the relationship. It's like they're coming to you, and then what if you, I don't know, I just imagine I do really silly things sometimes where I'll like Alan will be somewhere and I'll walk through the window, just take my top off and like just do fun things. And it's like, it sparks the fun, it sparks the aliveness. And so that's something that you can cultivate in yourself and draw out of and like the deep person that you're with.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, no, that feels true for me. He mirrored the parts I put on hold. So I know that's also why I was attracted. So yeah, it's like, oh, you're just reflecting the parts that I shelved
Hmm.
inside of me. So yeah,
Yeah.
I feel
Beautiful.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. So the third place, let's go into the third place. The third shadow that I see so often in us as beautiful, well-meaning women. Wait, let me go back. I need to go back to see you all. Okay, gallery. I love seeing you all. Okay, so the third shadow that I see so often, and yes, thank you to all of the beautiful humans that are coming live and revealing themselves. The third shadow that I see is control and disrespect. Now, what happens a lot of the times when we're aware of ways that we maybe are trying to control our partners is that we start withholding. So these go hand in hand. Have you ever experienced that where you're like, oh, I don't want to change them or control them, but then you end up just not speaking your truth or sharing what you want and need or sharing something that's meaningful to you because in the name of surrender, in the name of I'm letting go of control. And so there is a way in which our inner being can know, I'm not here to control this person. And we can still express our wants and needs and desires, right? And by doing so, we end up respecting them. So I'm going to share with you a story because I was reflected this actually this morning. Alan and I do this morning practice, and we've been in this 40-day sadhana, and our friend is doing it with us. She was a part of when we got this practice, so she comes over some mornings for us to do this meditation. And this morning, we had this moment where Alan was like, I'm gonna take the micro because we're taking super micro mushrooms for just somatic brain expansion. And they just got in. We took them 2 days in a row, and then you're supposed to take them about 4 days on, 3 days off type of a thing. And I decided to be on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and then off Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I really wanted to be on the same schedule as him. I was like, please, please, please be on the same days because I just want to be in the same experience as you. And this morning he looks at me and he's like, I'm going to do it today. I'm going to take it today. I really feel that I'm meant to. And in that moment, and our friend was there and she reflected this back to me. She was like, that was so cool to watch. And I was like, what? What was cool to watch? She was like, the way that you expressed what you needed and he didn't allow you to control him. So in that moment, I was like, no. But I wasn't like, no, you fucker, I'm like, oh, please, no. And my face is like devastated. Like I'm sharing my devastation. It's such a small example, but it's what's most alive, so I'm sharing it. And and in that moment, he saw it. He comes close to me. He like comes close to me. He hugs me. He's like, "Baby, it's okay." And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "I'm gonna take it now." And I'm like, "No." He's like, "I love you." And he walks away and goes to take it. And this such a powerful moment, right? Because I'm not in an energy trapped behind the energy of okay, I just have to surrender and I have to keep it all in. And he can't know, he can't see that I really don't want it and I'm really upset, but let me just like digest that all myself. See my body, that tense energy? It's like, whew, okay, I want you to do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday with me, please. He's like, no. And so the learning around this is how can we have an inner stance of respect for our partner's choices and decisions and a lack of trying to control the outcome, trying to control them, but also exactly like coexist with our real feelings, our real desires, our real truths, so that we're not digesting all of these feelings and then not allowing them to come out. So this is such a powerful practice to be in. This is practice because how hmm, how can I phrase this? Hmm, let's see in the chat. Like, what do you have the tendency to want to control in your partner? In the past relationships or in the current? Like, do you want to control what they eat, when they wake up in the morning, how much money they're making, how they speak to you, the way he takes care of the dogs, his drinking, great, his cleaning, yeah. Drinking and drugs use is the hardest one. Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is that when there is a self-abusive pattern, like drinking or drugs, that it's not just a healthy, like, yeah, I'm gonna have a drink. That would be control. If you're like, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna have a drink once in a while. But if it's an issue for his well-being, that's okay that you want to help control that because that's something that needs to be under control, if that makes sense, for the well-being of all. So that's where we get to come into greater understanding of this. Okay, his growth, his health, spiritual growth, how he speaks to me, how much time he wants to spend with me, money, oh, everything, but I let him be. I do have control for so much of the little things, like your example, making it mean he doesn't love me enough to change for me, which is so silly. Yeah. Mental, emotional health, getting help. So here's the thing. You are probably okay, I'm reading half the list. I'm like, this is an intuitive, intelligent woman. It would be better if he followed what she said. And half the time I'm listening to this and I'm like, yo, chill. Like, let go. And so this really it shows us in the orbit of this call the various places that we can be, which is either onto something or delusional. Onto something for the well-being of our partner or completely overperforming and unable to surrender and relax into the relationship itself and into the trust of how things grow over time. Because things grow over time. I mean, this is so big. We're so impatient as humans in life right now, especially in the world, because you could literally be like, I want popcorn. I'm gonna order it. It'll be at my door in 45 minutes. Right? We're so impatient. We want something, we have it. And so, how does this impact us? Well, in our businesses and in our relationships, we don't give ourselves or our partners the spaciousness to actually grow. We're like, I want it all now. I want it all now. Who runs up against that? Like, I want it now. I want it when I want it. Why is it taking so long? This is more prevalent in today's culture than it ever has been. And so, partly we get to look at how dominant culture has created this inside of us and has programmed us to be within that context, right? To be inside of that context and ask ourselves, is that the place I really want to be? Is that love? Or is love does love allow spaciousness? Does the reorientation to love, how long can I stay connected to the feeling and to the essence of love? Does it allow for time to come in and support us, right? Okay, so we're talking about control, bringing myself back. We're talking about control. So here's what you can do. One of the tools that you can work with when you notice there's something that you're wanting to control in your partner is you can say, I feel like I am seeing something for you that may be supportive. It may not be. I don't fully know, but I think that I'm seeing something that may be supportive for you. Would you like to hear it? There's something about your health. This is a beautiful way to share what you're seeing and to share the insight that you're getting in a respectful way. Because it's not just, okay, let it go, because you could be that you might have something that could impact your partner in a big way, but you have to be willing for them to say no. You have to be willing for them to say, yeah, I'm able to hear it. And then when they hear it, to say, no, I don't think so. You just have to be willing and to be open and curious. When you're taking the stance of, I know better, like I want to control this because I know better. And if you follow what I say, then everything will work out. The relationship is not going to thrive because you're going to be going into that superior place. But when you feel that sense of like, I kind of want to control this, I kind of want to change this, I want it to be different. When you approach through curiosity and like, this may be a projection. I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but like, I'm just going to go with my gut. Are you available for this? Always ask. The masculine needs to know that like women are more connected to our hearts, to our emotions, to even like a safety in feeling than men are. It's so much more vulnerable. So if you're bringing up something that touches the vulnerability, like his drinking patterns or his eating patterns or his growth or his money, like these can be really triggering. And so if you can ask for like first ask for permission and get that permission of like okay, he wants it, okay, then how can I share this through curiosity? How can I share it through a place where I'm not pretending like I know the best? I'm just seeing. And if it doesn't resonate, it doesn't resonate, and that's okay. How do we respond to "you're so emotional all the time" when I'm bringing up something that's been on my heart? So, first of all, when any one of us in the relationship is saying all the time, always, never, it's a sign that it's like we're coming from a child place in that moment. So when your partner's saying that, they're coming from a place of rejecting the feminine. They're probably in a child moment. It's probably like a mommy thing, to be honest, or maybe a sister thing if they have a sister. And you have to recognize that if there's, and I used to do this, I used to be like, you never blah, blah, blah. You never say this. You never do that. It's the same thing as you do this all the time. It's like, no, that's disrespectful. So you might not be in the moment, in that moment when you are feeling a lot to say it, but have a conversation another time. Have a conversation where you say to him, I really want to be careful, the both of us. I want to own this and I want you to own this, but I really want to be careful around where we say all the time or never, because that feels like a big accusation. I don't want to do that to each other. Would you be down to hold each other accountable to that? And see what your partner says, because ultimately that's one of the issues in that statement. The other thing of "you're so emotional" when I'm bringing something that's been on my heart. Again, if you don't ask for permission, your emotions are going to feel like a burden to your partner. If you say, look, if you say, like, my love, do you have space for me to feel something right now with you? Like, there's something on my heart. Do you honestly have space? Because I don't want it to feel, I don't want this to feel like a burden. I just want to reveal what's going on. That's a completely different thing. And where women have a lot of work to do, where we have a lot of work and a lot of responsibility to do, is in how we process and bring forward our emotional experience, because there are so many of us that are emotionally abusive to our partners. And then we wonder why we're in the type of relationships that we're in. So I don't know if this is the case, but I know that I had personally a lot of shadow work and self-ownership work to do around how I exploded in front of my partner in the name of, yeah, but I'm being expressed. Yeah, but I'm feeling. Yeah, but I want you to meet me here. But it wasn't respectful. It wasn't honoring them. So you really want to ask yourself, when I'm triggered, when I'm feeling, when I'm emotional, when I'm feeling a lot, how can I feel this and be present to it and respect my partner at the same time? And that could look like asking for permission. That could look like taking 3 minutes with no words just to feel. I mean, there are times where I just feel the sadness. I may have a few tears, and then I may look at Alan and share like, yeah, I feel sad because X, Y, and Z. But it's self-ownership. It's not you did this, you made me feel this way. It's like, I'm feeling this because, yeah. I'm feeling this because self-ownership. Hmm. This is actually really helpful with something recent in the relationship with my sister. Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful. I love this conversation. Good, good. Me too. Where do we learn more about this? Well, it's here right now. It's here right now. We're in the conversation right now, and I do have programs about this. I have Respecting Him is Foreplay, which is my most recent program that I have around all of these topics. I have Fight to Fuck, which I recorded with Alan. This is all about transforming through emotional experiences with your partner. We talk about our embodied practice when things come up. So both of those are really good options. And then the next live program that I'm teaching with Alan. So it's going to be an opportunity to go way deeper into all of these pieces. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so excited. So, I can have my team send the links later in today's email to the two programs that I mentioned. If you're wanting to go deeper just with all of this, please send the links. Yeah, definitely will. Definitely will. I see how I was operating from my wounded masculine, trying to fix him instead of asking if he has the interest in space to hear. Yeah, yeah. It's again, sometimes these small shifts that are revolutionary for us because it's more vulnerable. It's less vulnerable to just be like, ah, this is how I'm feeling. Because it's just, you can't, what's hard about asking for permission, what's hard about respecting in the moment where there's so much present in your heart is that you have to keep it contained inside of you, right? You have to really be like, ooh, like this is a moment that I just want to explode. I want it out. I want it moved. I want it different. But I'm gonna be with it first so that I can honor what I really want, right? I'm gonna honor what I really want, which is that deeper ache in your heart that you found at the beginning of the call. Nadia from your inner circle brought me to you. Thank God. Oh, I love this. Jezebel. So sweet. And I love Nadia. Yeah. Okay. You're so welcome, Emily. I love calling out your shadows in relationship. I'm so here for it. So I see there are so many questions coming in. We're going to start the landing of the plane moment for today. What a powerful call. You're so welcome. Yeah, this is so big. This is so big. This is our training ground. Relationship is our training ground. So, and it's our training ground for staying power. It's our training ground for love. And ultimately, all of these pieces, like I'm going to speak about what some of the women shared, like being on a call and getting to the sales pitch and feeling like, whoa, I left my body. Or, being with your partner and he's drinking and you're like, oh, I don't want him to do this. These are the places where you disconnect and you trust more in the separation, in the like, oh my God, I'm not getting what I want. Oh my God, life hates me. Oh my God, it's all going to shit versus I'm going to center myself and what I want, and then I'm going to move from that place. Okay. So, thank you all for an incredible day number 2. I feel so blessed to be here with you and to be in this conversation that's so meaningful to me and so important in this time where we want love so much, but a lot of our patterning around being a powerful woman has kind of overshadowed that deeper desire and craving in our heart. So yeah, thank you again so much. Thank you for everyone with your videos on. You light me up. It's so good to see your beautiful faces. And here's what I want to say to you today. If you haven't made that list that I set, the assignment that I sent out in email yesterday, where you're doing the old paradigm and the new paradigm, do that so you can really track what you're a yes to in this new season, what you're a yes to. And then I want you to question, you can journal about this. For today, what I want you to ask yourself is, how do I know I'm centered in love? What shows me that I'm centered in love? What is the signal? Is it something that you do in your body? Do you feel like, oh, if I'm centered in love, it's like I can feel my pussy, I can feel my heart lit up. Or maybe if you're centered in love, you just feel like this trust. You feel like I'm so held. I'm so held. There's nothing more I need to do. I don't need to convince. I don't need to prove. I don't need to I'm just here. What signals to you that you are centered in love? Because that's the return of the goddess. We're not connected to the goddess. We lose ourselves in the CEO, in the brand, in the performance, in the who am I showing up to be? What's my new identity? We lose ourselves in all that shit. And what really matters is that I am centered in love. I am centered in love. That's what's most important. That's what I care about most for each one of you. So, thank you again for today. If you feel inspired to continue our journey together and you feel curious or even curious about what it would be like to have long-term coaching with me, I invite you to apply to the Inner Circle. We do this type of work every other week, and we do the leadership purpose business work every other week. So it flops back and forth. So you have lots of time to work on your relationship patterns and devote to the deep union and intimacy that you crave, and the pleasure and the magnitude of love that you know you're capable of, as well as really sinking into your power and what's possible in your business and how much money you came here to make, and really expanding what's possible for you. So I see the world for you all. So much love, so much abundance, so much greatness, overflow, union, connection, and God. And I am a stand for it. So thank you again. You'll get an email with all of the links that you need. And I hope to see everyone here tomorrow for our final day. Big love, everybody.